Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Obviously, it's been a rough week for the markets and for crypto in general. Miners are down, everything's down. A couple stocks are up, but that's because of other things. So let's take a look at the miners versus Bitcoin, see how we did. We'll take a look at the blockchain here. So the total hash rate right now on the Bitcoin network is at approximately 156 million. It is down obviously from 167. We were getting close to the all-time high here that we reached back in May. We've slowly been obviously installing miners and moving back to that all-time high. If we look at the miners revenue here, so this is how much the miners are getting per day basically. So right now it is at $46.59 million. We had a low back here in June, which was 13 million. So we're still way above that. Obviously we're down from our high here, which was recently of 74 million. And obviously we reached an all-time high here back in April, which was 80 million. So that's not bad here, I guess. Obviously revenue has decreased quite a bit here from 74. We're almost down, what is that, 35-40% so from the highs here back in October. And that's mainly because of obviously the hash rate has been increasing and the price has come down this week in Bitcoin. If we look at the hash rate for Ethereum as well, because Ethereum, we have a couple of the guys mining Ethereum, which is Hive and Hut 8, but they're getting paid out. Hut 8 is getting paid out in Bitcoin. We can see the volatility here in the hash rate. It is going up and down, so people are turning on their GPUs and turning them off. But right now we're at 856 terahashes on it. If we look at also the total Bitcoin addresses, this kind of gives us a clue as to how Bitcoin is doing and where it's going. I mean, we can see that it just continues to go up exponentially here. We are at right now, let's see if we can get that. So we got 893 million total addresses on BTC. Obviously, we don't know which ones are active. We have a lot of new ones as well. If we look at it here, new ones continue to increase every month here. We had a huge spike in it, obviously, back in, what was that, 2017? Yeah, well, that's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. But we're obviously nowhere near that, so I don't think we're at the ultimate FOMO effect yet. We haven't seen this huge spike in new addresses. If we look at the crypto fear and greed index, we are at extreme fear, which is not surprising considering how far Bitcoin has fallen, along with Ethereum and everybody else. So extreme fear is way down. So this could mean that we are at the point of capitulation here in the market, maybe, where we might see a reversal trend to the upside. And if we look at over time, we can see here that we reached a 26 on the value. So we weren't anywhere near the all-time high here in November of 2021 this month. If we look at the 7 days here, as you can see it's going down. And then if we look at the 1 year chart, you can see how it has obviously gone up and down depending on the price of Bitcoin and where everything else is in the market. So let's take a look at Bitcoin price really quick along with Ethereum. We'll do some analysis on that and then we'll get into the miners here. So Bitcoin obviously finished out the week yesterday at, what was it, 53,757. I've updated my line here to coincide with what looks like to be the new resistance here. The resistance looks like to be about 53, or support is at like 53,500 roughly. We saw that it came down and touched it a couple times here before going up higher here. So this looks like our support here. I had it just a little bit lower at like 53,000 based on these two here, which were our, not support, but our resistance here. So hopefully we can continue going up. If not, we're obviously going to come back down probably to the 50,000 mark here. The probability increases the more times that we touch something, that this may go down. It doesn't have to go down, but it could go down. And then we could also continue going back up. But the important factor to look at here is that 20-day along with the 50-day moving averages are going to diverge here. And they're going to be basically crossing each other here, possibly within the next day or two if Bitcoin doesn't start going up. So that's always a concerning sign when those cross. And if we look at Ethereum here, Ethereum is bouncing off of this line here, which is right around 39,000 or 3,950 to 4,000, mark. It's bounced off of it a couple of times here. It's gone up higher, and it's done it yesterday as well, and it's continuing up higher. So we'll have to see. Obviously, the probability also increases that it could go down further, depending on how many more times it touches it, right? So we'll have to keep an eye on that one as well. But we saw it touch it here a couple of times and it went up. So I'm hopeful that it will do the same thing here, touch it and bounce back up, as we've seen the Fear and Greed Index go way down here. Let's take a look at the individual miners here really quick. So we'll go over to here. Let me pull this up. So here are my miners. So we got Riot. So Riot finished out the week at 34.92. There wasn't any news on it. The only thing that we had on the miners news was several mining pools out of China were getting basically DNS spoofing or attacks. People couldn't log into it. I had to change the miners that I manage out with different addresses. That was no fun yesterday, but we got it done. So we've only had that news on the miners. I haven't seen anything else. We'll go through here and take a look at it, see what's going on here. But yeah, Riot finished out the week at 34.92. So it was down yesterday 5.62% on the day. Obviously, yesterday was a shorter trading day. It was only open till I think 1 o'clock New York time. Analysts looks the same here. Institutions, we don't have anything new here. I don't expect we were going to get anything new until probably the end of the month. And that'll probably be new data provided back in December for November, if there was any accumulation or not by institutions. Let's take a look at Mawson. Mawson finished out the week at 10.26, so it was down 5.18% on the day. Also, let's take a look at see if there's any news here. Could be nothing new here on them. Analyst is the same. Institutions, same thing, nothing since 9:30. Marathon is at 49.20. It is down 6.09% on the day yesterday, so it's obviously way down from its all-time high here. Take a look at analysts, nothing new reported. Analysts, same thing. I think this might have increased a little bit here. I'll have to take a look at it. And then news, nothing new here. Newsworthy that happened this week. We just have some chatter about them. Hot 8 finished out the week at 12.19. It was down 2.64% on the day yesterday. Obviously, you can see it's way down from its high here at 16.57 over the last 2 weeks. And then there hasn't been any news from them as well. Let's take a look at analysts. Analysts are looking to be the same. Institutions, nothing new reported. So we're good there. Digihost is down to 531 off of its high of $8 here in the last couple of weeks. So it was down 2.75% on the day yesterday. Now let's take a look at analysts. Same thing, 1031 is the latest one that we've got. Analysts looks the same. And I haven't seen any recent news for them as well. Hive is down to 371. It is down 6.31% on the day yesterday. It's way down from its high of $5.60. Nothing newsworthy here for them as well. Analysts is still the same. Institutions, nothing new reported. Everything is looking good there. Cleanspark is at 1726, down 454 for the day on yesterday. It was off of its high of 2360 a couple weeks ago. And don't have anything new reported here on institutions. Analysts are the same. And let's take a look at news. And we've covered this news already. Let's go back to it. We've covered this news. Cleanspark purchases additional miners. So that was kind of cool. They got those installed right away. Then we got Bitfarms here. Bitfarms is at 714. It's down 9%. So it had a rough day yesterday. It's obviously down from its high of 936 a couple of weeks ago. And then no news for them. Analysts are the same, and so is the institutions. No new reporting here. Okay, so let's take a look at my charts or my information that I have for them, which is here. So here's how we're looking right now. Obviously, everything has been falling this past week. So if we take a look at it, Bitcoin obviously finished out the week at 53.7, so it was down basically on the week 7.49%. Bitfarms was down 12.71%. Hive was down 11.67. Hut 8 7.79. So right, excuse me, right about in line with Bitcoin here for the week. Marathon was down 10%. Riot went down the lowest, or one of the lowest ones, down 3.48%. Argo basically stayed flat. Digihost was down 5.18%, Cleanspark down 4.11, and Mawson was down 8.56 on the day. For the 4 weeks, obviously Bitcoin is down 11%. Bitfarms is actually up 39%, which is nice to see. So I think they're the leader right now in the 4 weeks. If you bought 4 weeks ago, you would still be up 39%. Hive was up only 4.8%. Hut 8 is down 9.3% in the 4 weeks. Marathon is down 5.82%. Riot is actually up 28.29%. Argo is up 7.78%. Digihost is down 4.84%, and Cleanspark is down 14.81%, and Mawson is up 0.69%. And then if we go 8 weeks back, we're looking at Bitcoin is up 11% if you bought it back then. Bitfarms is up 41%. Hive 33.45. Hut is up 31.50. Marathon 48.33. Riot 33.79. Argo 10.54. Digihost 10.63. And Cleanspark 37.75, and finally Mawson at 8.8. So if we look at the comparison on a chart basis, we can obviously see that Bitcoin was down 7.49%. Bitfarms looks like it did the worst out of the bunch here, followed with Hive here on the weekly, and then followed by Marathon and Mawson. So those are the top 4 losers here on the week. They have obviously done worse than Bitcoin has done, and we'll have to monitor that as well. Then if we look at the 4 weeks percentage gain loss, we can see that Bitcoin is down almost 11.5% for the 4 weeks, while Bitfarms is way up at 39.45, and Riot is up 28.29, and then we got Argo in third place at 7.78. So if you bought 4 weeks ago, you would be up on these 3 stocks, and Hive a little bit too at 4.8%, and Mawson would be just 0.69. Everything else you would be red on right now. But if you bought 8 weeks ago, you basically would be up on everything. So like a lot of people are saying, it's not trying to time the markets, it's time in the market and dollar cost averaging in. So if you can buy in weekly or bi-weekly or monthly and dollar cost average that way, you're better off doing that. And this definitely shows it why right now. So Bitcoin is up 11.45% on the 8 weeks. Bitfarms is 41.95. Obviously, Marathon would be the biggest gainer here at 48.33. So we got Bitfarms in second place, followed by Cleanspark at 37.75. And then we would have Hive. Riot would be at 33.79, and then followed by Hive, and then Hut. And then Argo and Digihost are pretty much neck and neck together. And then Mawson as the least one here. So kind of interesting charts here to take a look at them. So obviously if you bought a week ago, 4 weeks ago, and 8 weeks ago, depending on whether you're still profitable or not. But the miners are doing okay. I think Bitcoin has a challenge ahead of it right now. It's got to get past this dip that we're in right now, and we'll have to see how it basically goes forward. We may dip down to like the 50,000 mark still. That's still a probability. And then we may also see some, I don't know. We'll have to see it. Right now it's kind of it's all up in the air right now. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, it wasn't a good week for the miners. Neither was it for Bitcoin. I'm hoping next week is going to be a little bit better. We've seen this before where we had a sell-off around Thanksgiving. And then after that, things start to rocket. Back in 2017, Bitcoin went up, 100 some odd percent in 6 days. And that was after Thanksgiving. I believe it was in December sometime, like around December 6th, something like that. It just started going up like crazy. So we'll have to see if that happens again or not. But other than that, that's it. Have a great day, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm still working on DMG. I'm hoping to get that done maybe this weekend if all things go well. It's just been extremely busy at work and everything else, so I haven't had as much time as I wanted to get into it. But it is on the works. It's in the books. We'll have that done for you guys. That's it. Have a great day. See you again in the next one. Bye.